Hey, what up, Mr. Run? We're up at Rocky Butte, and there's couples making out everywhere. But let me show you around a little bit. There you have it. So good job on resuming the runaway vlogs. That's an excellent idea. I should have thought of that. And great job on Larry LaDouche. Actually, I've got a few douche-inspired concepts in my mind right now that I look forward to sharing with you in the future. I think I have one that may be marketable. So I'll share that with you. I think you might really get a kick out of it. But right now, the Runaway Vlog is talking about a couple of men talking about books and video games on YouTube like normal. That's what guys do. And it's kind of interesting, actually. And here is my advice on the whole concept of where our focus takes us. You know, it's like when sometimes people are like, you play too much video games, or all you do is sit around your apartment playing music, or do you do anything other than hike? I think our focuses lead us certain directions for a reason, and a really good reason. And I think that people sometimes, I think that when sometimes people worry that maybe we might become obsessive with certain things. I've had that thrown at me a couple different times. I spent over 7 years doing martial arts, and really that's what I did. I was a martial artist. I just did nothing but practice and train and compete. I trained at other schools. I opened my own school. It was great. And then I got, it just felt like I got to a point where I'm like, all right, what next? And I was that way with skiing. I went skiing so many times that eventually I had a pass for every lodge, every ski area up on the mountain. And some days I'd go up there and I'd ski from the very top all the way to the very bottom and ski 3 different lodges. And I was a ski machine. And some people are like, gosh, man, that's a lot of skiing. And then I skied and skied and skied and skied and skied different mountains until eventually I got to a point where I'm like, all right, what next? And so in my experience, it's always been, follow, my, I want to almost say, like, follow my bliss. Like do what you want to do. Like, when you get, like, captivated by something, there's a good reason for it. And pursue it and follow it to its conclusion, to its goal. And who knows where it might take you. I kind of think, I look back on some things, some hobbies that I got involved in and really enjoyed. For instance, surfing. I kind of dabbled in it. And I actually had the opportunity, and I loved it. I had the opportunity to not only really get into it, but to learn from some people that really knew what they were doing. And I didn't. I guess I thought there was going to be time for that later. And it turned out there wasn't time for that later. So I never really learned how to surf. And so I kind of look back on sometimes that I feel inspired in a certain direction, and then I feel sorry if I didn't pursue it, and really grateful for the times that I pursued something to what became for me the conclusion. And like the difference between books and video games or roller skating or anything that you do. It's a way to express your creativity and who you are, and it brings out so much inside of us. Because I think about things differently, due to how much I read. A lot of times I'll read a chapter in a book or even a phrase, and it'll change my world. And for as far as like, my how my world, as video games changed my world, for instance. Yeah, actually, my very first experience with meditation and getting into a meditative state with video games, deep problem solving, and as well as being really, really calm and allowing your mind just to kind of flow to a solution. Um, and then later, when I took up yoga and I took up martial arts, and I started re-experiencing that same feeling of sitting there and just counting my breath, sitting there and emptying my mind. And I realized, actually, this is not unfamiliar to me. I've practiced this before. I've practiced this while playing video games, having my mind be empty but yet really active. And that's what you get when you meditate, really deeply. Like you feel incredibly awake, but yet almost asleep. Like your heart rate's really low, your breathing's really deep, you're absolutely motionless and relaxed, but yet also instantly able to respond. So it's cool. It's interesting. It's interesting, that you actually made that correlation between books and video games, because both of them, I feel, have given me a lot of life experience and a lot of tools that I use on a daily basis to do, real world stuff. Like the patience that I learned from Halo, like playing against human beings. If you're patient, you'll win. That patience rewards me on a daily basis in the real world. I'll never regret being patient. It always pays off. And actually, a book that you might like, and you say that you aren't interested in reading them, and it's kind of obscure. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Like reading it, like some of it doesn't seem applicable, and some of it seems to be, I don't know, it's almost like, well, this chapter doesn't count, or this page doesn't seem appropriate. Like, I want to find out how a superior force beats how an inferior force beats a superior force. But the more I read it and the more I thought about it, the more it has affected my judgment in a ton of different ways. So I recommend that to you. If you want to pick up a book that actually doesn't need to be read, you actually just read a page, it's a good one. So hey, sharing a little bit of Mount Tabor with you. No, I mean Rocky Butte, and getting the vlog fired back up. So that's cool. All right, Mr. Run. Peace out. Stay douchey.